So apparently there's been floods in Texas and something like 50 something people have been killed.
Tonight, breaking news. The desperate search for the missing after catastrophic and deadly flash flooding in central Texas. And now the tropical storm exploding in size overnight. We begin tonight with breaking news. The desperate search for the missing after catastrophic and deadly flash flooding in central Texas. More than 40 people are dead in Kerr County, including more than a dozen children swept away in the fast-moving floodwaters. These new images showing the devastation and destruction at Camp Mystic, an all-girls Christian summer camp where dozens are still missing. But the total number of those unaccounted for is unclear. The floodwaters swiftly washing away homes and vehicles, leaving behind a trail of mud, debris, and heartbreak. In neighboring Travis County, flash flooding also turning deadly, with several still missing. The severe weather threat in Texas is not over yet, and now a new tropical storm, Chantal, taking aim at the southeast. Our weather team is standing by with the forecast, but first, ABC's Maria Villarreal leads us off tonight from Kerrville, Texas.
Tonight, deadly flash flooding engulfing several parts of Texas. Authorities say at least 40 killed. 3 deaths are being linked to major flooding in Travis County overnight, and at least 11 are still missing. The San Gabriel River today also overflowing. Flash floods there prompting evacuations. And in Kerrville, just north.
Rest in peace to those that lost their lives. I wonder what the government response is going to be. I know Texas expanded the national emergency that they declared earlier, but what is the federal government going to do? I'm curious.
Northwest of San Antonio, first responders continue to battle treacherous conditions as the death toll rises to at least 43, 15 of them children. Authorities now saying they are moving from rescue to recovery.
What makes you feel like this has gone from rescue to potential recovery? Because there is a difference.
We will eventually get to the recovery.
Crews searching for the countless still missing from those devastating 4th of July floods. But those still missing include over 24 young girls from Camp Mystic. These images showing the devastation at the campsite, the beds in the cabins complete.
Could you imagine being a parent and you dropped your kid off for summer camp and then you get this kind of news? Jeez, man.
Completely upended. An all-girls Christian summer camp that hosted over 750 kids.
As far as unknown other missing, we do not have an accurate count, and we don't even want to begin to estimate at this time.
The Guadalupe River rising 26 feet in less than an hour.
How is that possible? How can a river rise 26 feet in less than an hour? No warning, whatever. Like, okay, flash flooding, I understand. But seriously, no early warning of some kind. 26 feet in 1 hour? How does that happen? Do you understand? That's 2.5 floors. Look at any building you're looking at. If one floor is 10 feet, that's 2.5. That's fucking insane, bro. Almost 3 stories. 1 hour. Do you imagine you see the water coming and you climb up a tree? Okay, and then you go climb up a tree. Yeah, did some dams break? Something. Do we have an explanation? Was there a catastrophic failure of a dam? How else can you possibly explain 26 feet? In 60 minutes, do you understand that even if you're a good climber, climb up some fucking tree, even the tree probably wouldn't save your ass? Where do you escape the power of the flood? You see how the cars were crushed?
Video showing some of the aftermath. Debris stuck in the upper branches of these trees in Center Point, Texas.
Help is coming!
This woman clinging onto a tree after she was swept downriver. Lorena Guillen runs Howdy's restaurant nearby.
For the 4th of July in Kerrville, when it was perfect weather for fireworks, this place was packed. I mean, every single hotel RV park was full.
She says all the RVs here were washed away.
We had all the EMS and rescue team trying to save the family that was at the river, clinging for life, and they couldn't get to them.
You heard them?
We all heard them.
This area got more than a foot of rain in a matter of hours, swelling the Guadalupe River, sending floodwaters streaming into neighborhoods and communities, overwhelming campgrounds. You can
How hard was it rain? A foot of water? What?
See the absolute power of this storm and the raging floodwaters by looking just right behind me. You can see a trailer wrapped around this giant tree, and across the river, you can see what looks like a mobile home. Pierce Boyette and his brother Ruffin managing to escape from nearby Camp Lahuna with the help of heroic staff.
The flood started getting bigger,
and it was going up to, we have bunk beds in our cabins, and it was going up to the top bunk, and we had one choice, and we had to swim out of our cabins.
The White House monitoring the situation. The Trump administration saying they intend to help.
The federal government needs to be here for the support and extra resources on the ground as well, and that is what we are doing.
Maria Villarreal joining us now from Kerrville. Maria, we can see some of that debris behind you. Give us a sense of what people there in Texas are going to be facing in the hours ahead.
Well, you know, Whit, as of right now, we do know the disaster declaration has been expanded for the state of Texas, adding 6 more new counties. The federal government also saying they're going to issue their own disaster declaration to help out as well. Crazy. But as you just mentioned, this is all about the community. You can see right behind me, people are cleaning up. These are all volunteers doing whatever they can to pick up the debris, knowing that over the next few days, we're going to see more weather hitting this area. Whit.
A long and difficult road ahead. Maria, thank you. Let's get right to meteorologist Danny Beckstrom from our New York station, WABC. And Danny, you're tracking both the flood emergency in Texas and the new tropical threat in the southeast.
Yeah, well, we have the updated track for Tropical Storm Chantal, but we'll start first with the rain in central Texas because heavy rain continues to fall near Austin. I know that's not what we want to hear. This does wrap up tonight with the flash flood watches expiring around 10 p.m. local time. But for now, the flooding continues in parts of Travis County, Williamson County, and Burnett County. Now let's talk tropics as Tropical Storm Chantal crawls toward the coastline. Conditions will deteriorate tonight with landfall.
So conditions will deteriorate. Now we have a tropical storm about the land. And this one is where? In Charleston, Myrtle Beach, and Raleigh. Wow. Damn, America's getting hammered.
All expected between about midnight and sunrise tomorrow morning. Heavy rain, gusty wind. We have tropical storm warnings in effect near the coast, including Myrtle Beach. Again, the heavy rain, 2 to 4 inches, can produce flash flooding. The gusty wind can cause problems as well. Continued to see the scattered showers and storms through Sunday morning in the Carolinas, but
yeah, I'm really curious now. Somebody said almost all of America is becoming uninsurable. I wonder what the insurance companies, they already were trying to decline a bunch of claims from the fires in California. What's going to happen to these houses here? Are they going to pull out of the states? Because these insurance companies are gladly taking everybody's money, but when it's time to pay out, they look for every little excuse in the book. Oh, on page 1037, section D, subsect 2 states that XYZ makes it so that we're not liable for damages. Like, that's fucking nuts.
Even as the remnants move inland, rough surf and rip currents will continue to impact the southeast coast through the remainder of the holiday weekend.
Yeah, multiple threats we'll be watching. Danny Beckstrom, thank you. We appreciate it. And as we just noted there, Chantal is bringing the risk of dangerous rip currents to parts of the East Coast, coming as many are flocking to the beaches over the long holiday weekend. Some beaches advising people to stay out of the water. And several people were injured after fireworks exploded on a boat in Alabama during 4th of July celebrations. It's just the latest in a series of fireworks mishaps, some of them deadly. Here's ABC's Morgan Norwood.
Jeez, man. Yeah, those poor kids. How many dead? Texas flooding. Let's see if there's any updates on that. Because how many? 51 dead, 27 girls missing, 27 girls. Look at that looks crazy.
Oh my God. There's people in it. Oh my God,
well, houses are moving. That's wild.
Texas was gripped by chaos as a slow-moving storm system unloaded a torrent of rain across the hill country, submerging entire communities. Kerr and Kendall counties were among the hardest hit, with homes, roads, and lives swallowed by water in the dead of night.
Oh my God, oh my God. Oh no.
Holy
oh my
crap.
God. What the? Oh no.
Get out!
Someone's in the car.
Get out!
Someone's in that car. That's crazy.
Get out of your car!
And we'll go where? Go where? If it has the power to sweep a car away, where do you go? Get out and swim? Where?
God.
There goes. "6:08 a.m. Guadalupe River
Bro, get the fuck out of it. Why are you even filming that close to the water? Like, if it rose 26 feet, some people, like Darwinism is a thing with some people. They're like, hey, let me stand here and just film all this shit. Get the fuck out of there.
At Nimitz Dam on Guadalupe Street.
In Hunt and the surrounding hills, more than 10 inches of rain fell within just a few hours, overwhelming already saturated ground. River gauges spiked rapidly, and the Guadalupe River surged past 25 feet in places, reaching its second highest crest in recorded history.
Wow. Holy hell, look at the power of that. Jeez, man. If you've ever swam in a river or creek and felt the power of water, it doesn't even have, like, you don't know how completely useless you are and at the mercy of Mother Nature if you've ever jumped in a creek that even has decent moving water. Just a creek, let alone this. How much you can get, how easily you get swept out by water of this magnitude, I can't understand. I can't overstate to you guys, actually. Fuck, man. I've jumped off of waterfalls before. I've jumped into creeks that had fast-moving sections. There's no out swimming, nothing. It's hard to even stay afloat to get air. This is crazy.
Water rushed into neighborhoods without warning, turning highways into rivers and backyards into lakes, catching families off guard. Drivers abandoned vehicles, campers fled in darkness, and 911 calls poured in as the emergency escalated across multiple counties.
1812 Coke Street. Still waiting on water rescue. If anyone has any boats or jet skis to help us get my in-laws. And
yeah, you got to do it. Basically, go to the roof immediately. At 26 feet, you have to be on the roof line. You're not escaping it on the second story.
The other elderly on the road out.
Dude, and the pain that you must have felt, like, rest in peace. Like, man, it's not clear water that you're used to swimming in. There's fucking sharp sticks. There's branches everywhere. Whatever other debris is possible in the water that impales you. When you're being dragged by the current at that kind of speed, and even something small, like a stick, will impale your body under that murky-ass brown water. You can't even see. Like, do you know how mangled a body gets when you mix in debris in water like this? Fuck, man.
Confirmed fatalities rose throughout the day as the storm's toll spread across Kerr County, Hill County, and the Concho Valley. Authorities reported dozens of people unaccounted for, some feared swept away from campsites, cabins, or cars along rapidly rising rivers.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
What is that, a house? Yeah, if you're blessed enough to buy property in the United States, you have to do some serious research on places that are tornado prone, flood prone, whatever else prone, fire prone. There's no point. The government's not coming to help you. By the time you get any form of restitution, if there's any, or the insurance payouts, your life is altered forever. Your valuables are gone. You have to move. You have to move somewhere that's like geologically safe. This shit's incredible.
Guadalupe River. This is 173. Not good.
Kerrville's streets vanished beneath floodwater. forcing residents to climb rooftops or trees
look at all the
while awaiting
water.
rescue. Makeshift shelters in schools and churches filled with evacuees who had escaped with nothing but the soaked clothes on their backs.
Y'all, look at this. Oh my God. Crazy.
That looks insane, bro.
We drove over to this parking lot that has this lookout. There's other people here doing.
Someone said just get a canoe and ride that shit out. There's your canoe, bro. That's you, and they're upside down, drowned. That's you right there.
We are having major floods in Kerrville, Texas. Look at this stuff.
Rip canoe, bro.
Unbelievable.
Camp Mystic, a well-known all-girls retreat near Hunt, suffered severe flooding as cabins collapsed and children became separated. Rescue crews waded through debris to find missing campers, while worried parents waited for updates that never came fast enough.
Get away from that flash flood.
Is this the worst one in years? Or has there been flooding worse than this? 26 feet in 1 hour. God, look at the water, man. Oh my.
Other camps, including Sierra Vista and Rio Vista, took on major water damage but reported no children present when the storm struck. Camps Waldemar, Mo Ranch, and...
So are we going to get a body count over 100 from this? Unfortunately, it seems like the numbers are going to shoot up dramatically. How many camps were swept away like this?
A junta reported that all staff and campers were accounted for, though access remained dangerous.
There's no surviving this. Someone said most camps were closed for the 4th. Wow. That's, imagine you got the news your camp was closed for the 4th. What if this happened on a weekend after the 4th and everybody was back at camp? These numbers would shoot up dramatically. Wow. Wow, the luck. This shit is crazy.
And swept off foundations.
This is Kerrville, Texas.
It was Kerrville, Texas. Not anymore. Shit. Please wear rubber boots in contaminated floodwater. My late husband became infected with a few bacteria that led to gangrene, then partial amputations of both feet. He suffered for 2 years, then passed away. Jeez, bro. So you get swept out from miles away. Flood water is like 20 plus 26 feet in 1 hour. And then you get got by bacteria. You survive. You hang on to trees. You get impaled by fucking logs and shit and sticks and glass and whatever. And then you get killed by contaminated water that you accidentally... it went down your throat because you're gasping for air trying to survive being sucked in by undercurrents and shit. And then you somehow survive that only for your limbs to get chopped off because you get gangrene. The fuck? But we got Canoe Bro. He's like, I'm just canoe my way out of there. Dude's upside down. You just swallow a little bit of water and then that's your ass. Enjoy half of your fucking body chopped off by gangrene. Unreal. Those poor kids. Survival stories.
One of the hardest hit spots from the flooding, as Mike mentioned, is Camp Mystic. It's in Kerr County. Camp Mystic did not evacuate before the floods hit. Joining us now for tonight's big close-up is Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Lieutenant Governor, thank you for being here. Tell me for a moment, I know we still have outstanding campers that are missing. Have the families been contacted yet? Have you turned up any of these girls? I know these families are frantic. In fact, I know one of them.
Yeah, Raymond, let me paint a quick picture for you. There are about 15 camps along the Guadalupe that we were checking yesterday when this all began. And Camp Mystic was the one where we were not able to account for everyone. And now that number is 27. There were 750 campers in just that camp alone. There were several thousand along the river. And the gentleman named Delton, who's the city manager in Kerrville, said he was out jogging at 3:30 in the morning and there wasn't a drop of rain and the river was normal. And by the time he showered and got dressed for the morning, suddenly the river rose, as Mike Tobin just said, about 26 to 30 feet in 45 minutes.
Holy hell.
With the power of a freight train running through what was a dry creek, just a rapid pace, destroying everything in its way. So one of the things that Camp Mystic did yesterday is they had the phone numbers of everyone that was at their camp. And so they called those that were missing. They didn't try to call the 750 and say, your daughters are safe. They called, which I thought was very smart, and they called the ones who are missing and said, we are searching for them. So we had a good idea very early of where
30
we were.
30 feet in 45 minutes.
We surged 400 to 500 people in immediately. Helicopters, we had as many helicopters in the air as we could get safely with drones.
Guadalupe River to rise nearly 30 feet in 45 minutes.
Crazy.
How wide is the search perimeter, and are enough resources being provided by the local, state, and federal government to assist in the search and rescue?
Dude, it's hard to conceptualize what a 30-foot rise in 45 minutes even looks like. That's insane.
In the water, and it's still a fluid situation. You can see the water still running down quickly. When I was there all day yesterday, it was still moving pretty swiftly. So, you have so much debris you see above the water. It's unbelievable, the damage, but you also have debris under the water. So it's this, and I'm saying rescue and recovery. We're doing both.
Yeah.
If we find a child or an adult.
Oh no, these are the kids that are missing. Dude, that sucks.
Alive, we're rescuing them. And if we find someone, a deceased individual, then we're going to recover them. So we are not giving up this rescue attempt. We're holding out for miracles that can still happen. I'm overwhelmed. I have 8 grandchildren, guys, and I talked to one of the parents of the missing children this morning who texted me, and all I could do is just say, I got to hug you when I see you. There are no words except, again, we stand on the rock of our faith, and we'll do everything in our power to find your child, hopefully alive, and to find your child if not. And so these 27, and again, there were many visitors there. This was a 4th of July weekend. It's a town of 20,000 in the middle of kind of central Texas, in the hill country as we call it. But there were thousands of visitors. So we don't even know, in terms of people along the banks and the tents and the rental properties, we don't even know all of those people yet. But there were I do know there was an entire family swept away. The soccer coach at the high school, his wife and himself and the children. I know of another family, the entire family swept away. This is the hardest event I've ever been involved in 10 years as lieutenant governor. We've had a lot of tragedies. Anytime you have children involved, it's the worst. And we've had children involved in other tragedies. But the parents who didn't know, that's what hurt the most. Yeah. Many of the parents knew. And again, all the other camps that were down the river, they accounted for everyone. It was this one camp and this one area of the camp that was low, where most of the young girls, 10, 11, and 12, are missing or saved or deceased. So it's a very hard time. I flew back last night late, and I was next to one of the divers, and I said to him, I don't want to mention his name, I said, did you rescue anyone today? He said, only those deceased. This is hard on everyone. It's hard on these families, and I just want the families to know we will not stop till we find your child.
Absolutely. Lieutenant Governor, I want to ask you about Camp Mystic. According to the Associated Press, both AccuWeather and the National Weather Service sent out warnings about flash floodings before the devastation. There was a general flood warning that went out about 12 hours before and a flash flood warning that went out about 3 hours before, but it was sent out very early in the morning. Now, AccuWeather said that the camps in the region, including Camp Mystic, should have been evacuated. So did Texas officials do enough to warn campers of the storm?
$1 million question.
And should they have been evacuated sooner?
I will leave all those questions to be answered later. Right now, we're trying to rescue anyone we can find alive and recover those
What happened to the warning systems? Who's liable for this?
that are deceased. But I'll say this, that the National Weather Forecast predicted minor flooding, minor event a day before. And when that warning did go out, I have all the charts I've seen. When that warning went out, it was about 12 hours before, and the flash flood was 3 hours before 5 in the morning. So we'll go back and examine all of.
How did that happen? So someone said ban this guy. 1 second. There you go. That's so sad for the families. Damn.
Of that. But one thing always to remember, and I don't know if there's fault. If there's fault, we'll find it and we'll fix it.
Why is it always so fucking late with everything? It's so annoying. Why do we only make changes when it's like lives lost? You notice that? Every single fucking time there's changes that need to be made, it's only after people lose their lives. We move at the last possible fucking moment that we possibly can. That shit is... All right.